Let the Rich Tomorrow comments just flood the bottom of this video. I want to see him because this is going to bring back that meme, which never really died. Rich Tomorrow, he changed his take on storage for the PlayStation 5 and Series X. It's time to get into the video with birds.
Skip it up and that up.
So one thing that I take pride in is I have the humility to admit that I'm wrong, or I could change my takes when my experiences with a product or circumstances in the industry change. One of the biggest ones that I changed my take on, and I used to be very much anti-backwards compatibility and didn't think it was a big deal, as backwards compatibility. Before Microsoft really pushed backwards compatibility with the Xbox One, I always said, who cares? You could just have the other consoles. If you have a PS3, why do you need the PS4 to be backwards compatible? If you have an Xbox 360, why do you need the Xbox One to be backwards compatible? Then I realized I was a complete fool, because why would you want to have 70 pieces of hardware hooked up to your television? Obviously, there's collectors, but it's not really ideal. And then the older hardware becomes old and it starts not functioning well because it's old. So yeah, I'm now pro backwards compatibility. That is a take of mine that has changed throughout the years, and yes, I received a lot of flack for it, but that's okay. I realized how important backwards compatibility is, and my stance has changed. Well, one of the takes I had that was unpopular, and I still held to it, was I liked Microsoft's storage solution, expanding storage solution for the Series consoles, the Xbox Series consoles, compared to the PlayStation 5, because my thing was, with using PCIe Generation 4 NVMe drives that Sony's using in the PlayStation 5, people would get confused. They would just try to throw any NVMe drive in there, even if it wasn't PCIe 4 or it didn't have the proper read and write speeds. But time has gone on, and I've been using my Xbox Series console more now. I was actually initially using the PlayStation 5 more, and if you own a bunch of current generation games, I'm no longer as big of a fan of Microsoft's proprietary expandable storage solution, because first off, they don't give you many options. You have now 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes. And in 2022, with how big games are, it's okay, but it's still not enough. Now, I know the argument's going to be made, Rich, you could just temporarily store your 9th gen games on another external USB drive, and when you're ready to play them again, you transfer them to the internal storage or the NVMe expansion Xbox storage that Seagate makes. That's still not ideal, because yeah, it's quicker than downloading the games, but it still takes, if it's a big game, it could take a few minutes. And that's loading times. Do you really want to sit there and wait 6 to 10 minutes for your game to transfer from an external USB drive to the internal storage so you could play it? And on top of it, too, if you look, for example, here is a Sabrent drive. This is a 2 terabyte model. I have the 4 terabyte model for my PlayStation 5. It's going for $329. A 2 terabyte model drive for the Xbox Series X and S is going for $400. It's going for $100 more than the Xbox Series S. So imagine you have a Series S, you need more storage, you want to expand so you can put a bunch of current gen games on there. You have to spend more than you actually spent on the console to expand the storage. So my point being is that I think that Sony actually did make the right choice. Now, there are still those challenges where people who aren't tech savvy, who may not look for the proper specifications, even though a lot of the manufacturers make it blatant that this drive is compatible with the PlayStation 5. You know, a lot of the soccer moms would be like, oh, they have this 2 terabyte drive by some no-name brand that's an NVMe drive. It looks like a stick of gum. I'll just, slide it in there, and if it sets my son's PS5 on fire, why am I talking with a Western accent? I don't even know right now, but I guess this is how this soccer mom talks, and she just got the cheapest NVMe, and now there's smoke coming out of her son's PlayStation 5. Good job, soccer mom. What the hell is wrong with me? But you get my point. So that is still a thing. But in the end, the flexibility and the vast amount of storage options that Sony allows you to have by simply letting you pick out a compatible PCIe Generation 4 NVMe drive, it's just a better choice. And with how big games are on 9th gen consoles, you need storage options. And even 2 terabytes of storage just isn't enough. And the price points are insane for those proprietary expansion drives, too. So I used to think that Microsoft had the better solution. Now my opinion's changing. Sony made the right choice by letting the consumer have as many choices as they want to, so long as the drive is compatible for the PlayStation 5. And that was a smart choice. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.